Well, good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Make sure you check out jerichogreen.net and mygreengear.com. New designs all the time on the way. Cash App is $ Jericho Green, the number one. Venmo is Green for Green. So I mentioned this earlier today in my live stream, but I would be talking about this on the video that I'm uploading to my channel. And I want you to do me a favor. I want you to take all of your childhood memories of the movie Wizard of Oz, put them from your mind onto a piece of toilet paper or a wipe if that's what you use, and go in the bathroom and take a shit, and then take those childhood memories and maybe memories you have when you're an adult, maybe with your kids or something, but take all those memories, put them on that piece of toilet paper or a wipe, take a shit, and wipe your ass with it. Well, I only say you should do that because that's what they're doing. They're remaking Wizard of Oz. Now, you might be saying to yourself, damn it, I hate when they do that because they always mess it up. I don't care how many years you give them in between the original and whatever they're going to do, the sequel or the remake. It doesn't matter. It could be decades. They always fuck it up. But in this case, you would be right because they're going to fuck it up. How? The writer and director of this movie, who also writes and I think directs, but definitely writes for the show Blackish on ABC. I think it's on some sitcom, right? About this family, and there's a bunch of SJWs on the cast and Anthony Anderson, all that bullshit. But he writes and or directs for that show. So he's writing and directing The Wizard of Oz. They've already started with the pandering. They've already started with the affirmative action hires. The writer and director of the new one, he looks mixed. Black and something else. So he is going to be directing the movie. And of course, I don't have a problem with a mixed or black or person of color director. That's not the problem. It's why they're doing it. So he's going to write and direct The Wizard of Oz. Now, of course, they're going to have all the original characters: Dorothy, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, Toto. They're going to have Annie M, Uncle Henry, all the farmhands who end up playing the aforementioned characters, the Tin Man and shit. The wizard who plays the guy who she got inside of his trailer to see if he can, see the future. And the storm came. She went back home. You know the story. 1939. What's her name? Elmira Gulch. She was ended up being portrayed. She was portraying the Wicked Witch in Dorothy's dream. She's Elmira Gulch. She takes Toto. You know the story. All the original characters are going to be in there, but this is not 1939, honey. This is 2022. There's going to be a twist. You know it. You guessed it. You feel it. You feel it in your bones. You know exactly what I'm about to say. That's right. They're going to add a little twist, and the twist is going to be that some of the characters are going to be members of the Alphabet Soup Group and the Ku Klux Trans. That's right. He said that those groups will be prominently displayed in this movie. He said that in 1939, it was a reflection of the time, the Dust Bowl, the Depression. So now we have to do a reflection of these times. And in these times, every other person is part of the Alphabet Soup Group or the Ku Klux Trans. That's what they want you to think. That's what they want you to believe. So that is who's going to be represented in The Wizard of Oz, even though romance, sexuality had no place in the first movie. It wasn't there at all. Dorothy had no romantic interest. The only thing closest to any romantic interest or any love or any kind of sexual or physical connection was Annie M and Uncle Henry. But they didn't hold hands. They didn't hug. They didn't do nothing in that movie. They just were. They were Annie M and Uncle Henry. Those are the family members that she lived with. There was no romance when they got to Oz. Dorothy didn't fall in love with any of the midgets. She didn't fall in love with the wizard. Nothing. There was no sexual energy, as they like to use that word, another hijack word. Energy. There's no sexual energy in Wizard of Oz at all. But you better believe here in, they take a syringe and they flick it like that and they squirt in the movies, they squirt a little bit up. You better believe in 2022 they're going to take a big fat horse syringe full of SJW Ku Klux Trans bullshit and directly inject it into the jugular vein of the Wizard of Oz remake, like it needed to be done. That is a classic, that is a national treasure, and it should be left as such. But I'm sure in the new one, they're going to flip it to the cisgender white male, to you straight couples, to the patriarchy. They're probably going to put some people of color in it, even though there were no people of color in The Wizard of Oz. It was 1939. Who gives a shit? You don't need to make some social point, some social stand via this American classic. But they're going to. They're going to take their distended rainbow anuses, spread them apart, and shit all over this. You won't be able to show your kids. Unless you're one of those woke, fucked up parents that want to be patted on the back in the weird circle of people they travel in via your child's mental state. If you're one of those sick fuckers, yeah, you're going to love it. But chances are you're not going to show this shit. If you're watching this video, you're not going to show your kids that bullshit. And when it comes out, don't worry, I will do a detailed review of it. I will take that bullet for you. I will take that rainbow-colored Marine Corps official Twitter page in the month of June, bullet for you. Nothing is sacred. All of our traditions and history and memories must be changed. They must be splattered with that rainbow paintbrush. They must be splattered with that paintbrush that's the colors of whatever the fuck the Ku Klux Trans flag is. It must. They must fill this void in their life through you. Their daddy did not hug them tight enough, or maybe didn't hug them at all. They're going to fill that void with you. They're going to fill it with your kids. They got fucked up. Now they're going to fuck your kids up. No other reason. Why would you introduce this into the Wizard of Oz? It makes no sense. There's an agenda. There's a point they're trying to prove. There's minds they're trying to change. There's a society that they're trying to break down and tear down. Who's going to want to watch that shit? The same parents that take their kids to drag shows at gay bars? They might. Why? Why would you do that? Create something else and put all the Ku Klux Trans members that you want in it. There's a movie I saw a trailer for. It's like Bro Hug or Bromance or something. It's this full-blown movie with a bunch of gay dudes. It's about gay dudes in love at gay bars doing gay shit. Why? Why would you put that in movie theaters, in the mainstream? Why would you do that? It's an agenda. You think they waited till now to make a movie like that? How long we've been knowing about gay people? And back in the 90s, that's when they started being everywhere, TV and movies and shit like that. So it's been around for a while. Why now? Because it's time. It's time for this phase of their plan. That's why. Now it's time. They could have done it before, but it wasn't time. They weren't ready. It wasn't that phase of the plan was not ready to be carried out yet. Now it is. You're going to remake and fucking destroy The Wizard of Oz. I hope my kids don't even hear about that movie, because there's no way they're going to watch it. But I hope they don't even hear about it. Not only so I don't have to explain to them why they can't see it and force me into that awkward situation that my kids are far too young for. Because I don't want that because I don't want that memory of the Wizard of Oz to be tainted. That's the only Wizard of Oz there should be. It's for everybody. It doesn't matter if there were people of color in it. It doesn't matter if there are Ku Klux Trans members in it or Alphabet Soup Group members in it. That's not the point. This is that falsehood, that lie they sell you, that kids, it's all about the kids. Trust me, it is all about the kids. But they need to see themselves reflected in entertainment. No, they fucking don't. There have been generations and generations of kids of color, KOCs, who have seen movies and TV shows with white people in them, and it doesn't faze them in the least. You know why? Because that's not what they see. They imagine themselves being that badass. They imagine themselves being that cowboy or that action star or that ninja or that whoever. That's the point. If you want to make original programming with people of color in it, do it. But for you to take something that we already hold dear and to twist it and pervert it, that's because of your agenda. That's wrong. That's tokenism. Oh, wow, they added a black character. Whoop-de-doo. Hey, black folks in America, did you feel that load of oppression get lighter because they made the new Little Mermaid mixed? No, there is no oppression. That's why that shit doesn't help. But somewhere over the rainbow is going to have a whole new meaning. I wouldn't be surprised if when Dorothy gets to the end of the rainbow, it's coming out of some Ku Klux Trans member's asshole. Disgusting. Let me get in here with my beautiful wife and kids. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Get your ass over to JerichoGreen.net and MyGreenGear.com. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.